What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, and I'm bringing you something I love. And the reason I love this is because, well, I made it. So this is my own creation. You can see right there the D-Bad. This is the D-Bad Machapa, and the reason it's my chopper is because I am from Massachusetts, and even though this side of Massachusetts doesn't speak with that horrible accent, the rest does. So I gotta respect some of our masshole counterparts that have that accent. So Machapa, it's, you know, from Boston. Machapa, it's just how it is. Donnie B all day comes at you with Machapa. So I made this. It is I want to say 15 inches long, 9.5 inch blade, 1/8 inch thick, 1080 high carbon. You can see the coloration from the heat. Well, maybe in the sun you'll be able to see the coloration from the heat treat and all that. It's heat treated and tempered. But I have, if you'll notice right here, a convex edge, right? That means it goes like this. It's round and then to a point. It doesn't go this way to a point. It goes this way to a point. So it looks like this, right? Instead of this, it's this, like that. And the reason is because I wanted a chopper. I wanted something that was going to be as equally strong through the spine as it is right up until the base of the edge. It is kind of a differential heat treat. I put all the heat treat in the edge, minimal heat treat in the middle, and barely any at all in the spine. I wanted to keep this softer than this. And since I'm using it for banging and batoning, that's going to benefit me right there. The handle, I put these scales on there. I found some scales on eBay, dirt cheap. And I used some, what do you call it? Some red Sedona stain. And that's where I got this color from. You'll see it better in the sun. And like always, I used aluminum pins and some JB Weld on there. But you can see it's all there. So for the coloration, the bottom is obviously polished. Then here is it's kind of got that psychedelic burn. I left the purples and all that in there. And then just the top ½ inch, I used super blue. So I darkened the top ½ inch, and then I let the colors cascade down. So let's bring this thing into the sun and see if we can't pick any of that up. Where the hell is the sun? All right, so yeah, there you go. So now you can see the color differential, how it's dark on the top, and then it goes down to this really cool psychedelic look, and eventually to the polished area. You can see the spine. I ground out and then I sanded down, but I wanted to leave the grind lines because I thought it was kind of cool. So that's that, and then this I smoothed out. That's about it. Now here's the red Sedona. You can really see the colors. It's beautiful. And of course it's built for my hand. So that's that. That being said, let's take my hand and go use this thing. And since we're already pretty much at the stump, so now you know how long it takes me to get to the stump when you guys see the stump. All right, we're gonna do some downward drops, 4 foot, and see how I did the balance on this guy. And big old honking knife like this, it's got some pretty good balance. That's not bad. Now I'll do some hard downward throws, and we'll see how I did on these handle scales. See, oh my gosh, see if any of it's gonna loosen. You hear that thud? Oh, yeah, that's good. So now I sharpened it, but again, it's a convex edge, so I don't think I'm going to get any proper slicing here. Let's see. So I know push cuts are pretty much out of the question. Ugh. It's cutting, obviously you can see that, which is better than the knife I brought you the other day. I brought you a Gil Hibben that wouldn't do this. So obviously it's sharp enough to cut, but being a convex blade, I mean edge, it's made to do that. I mean, I'm chopping little chunks out of this thing just by hitting it. And but that's what it's made for. Let's see if we can't go through the old soccer balls. Obviously doesn't have a tip made for this, but I am Donnie B all day. And there is my tip. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. So, can I go through hide? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So, let's go chop. All right, hopefully I got you all in the shot because all I'm seeing is a glare. Right, so let's get this beast to work. Let's get this beast to work. Actually, you know what? Let's start with this right here. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it does a whole lot of that. It's definitely made sharp enough for this. The problem is, because it's a convex grind, you really have to find the angles if you want to shave stuff down. You need a pretty good 45-degree angle. But once you find the angle, you're gonna make some pretty sweet fluff. You see all that? So let's get on to getting on. All right, let's get rid of some of this stuff that's in my way. Let's see here. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly. This blade does exactly what I built it to do. Look at this. Look at this. All right, Mr. Fir Tree, you will not survive this outing. So, obviously, it's a camp chopper. That's what it is. You're gonna have your regular camp knives, and you're gonna have your I mean, not your camp knives, but your well, I'm looking for my baton here. You're gonna have your regular survival knife in the campgrounds, and you're gonna have your, you know, your bring all knife, whatever. But you want that camp knife or hatchet to be able to do this. You want to be able to process, and finding a blade that you can process with, if you don't like carrying an axe or carrying a hatchet, they can be pretty cumbersome. It's a lot easier to carry a knife, but you want something that you can process with. You need something strong, you need something thick, you need something that's going to go through and be able to take a beating. And that's the most important part, is you need a knife that, you know, if you start whacking away on that thing, that it's not going to break. And that's the most important part, is just having something that can take an absolute beating. Let's put that up here real quick so I can hit it harder. Look at that. Look at that. Just takes a beating. And that's exactly what I wanted when I built this thing. That's exactly what I got from building this thing. Let's see here. I'm absolutely, oh my God, that split so easy. And making it convex with that round edge, it helps as you baton, it helps split the wood. So just tapping it right here, you can see the split right here. The split is all the way down here, right? And it's because of that round edge, just like an axe. It's going to make the split happen, so I don't have to keep going tap, 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 tap. I should be able to hit it a couple times hard, and the entire piece of wood should split because of the edge. And that's exactly what it is. So here's, look at that. 2 shots, boom. So now, let's see. How'd you get that thing down in the first place? Well, you chopped it. And having something that can chop is mega importante. So can I use this to break the wood down? You tell me. You tell me. This thing is awesome. Now, what else can I use it for? Oh yeah, a defensive blade. I told you it's convex and it's not sharp enough to like shave with. You're not going to take off hairs, but you're going to take off skin. If I slash this thing down, forget it. I'm lopping something off. This thing's got the edge of like a medieval sword. That's exactly where you're going to be at. If you're breaking someone down, man, that's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. Slice. One of those slices, I crap you not, went about 18 feet. All right, so let's see. Slice. Holy mackerel. So obviously, so you'll notice that besides giving it the downward slope here for the thumb, right, and giving it a nice curve so it's going to just be an insane chopper, I gave it a really, really over accentuated rear, right, at the pommel. And the reason for that is because I want to be able to swing from the end of the knife. So I wanted an extra handle way back here so I can literally let the knife do the work, as you see, rather than have me do the work, right? So by swinging from here, I just let the knife do the work. That takes less effort on my part to make big dents. Ooh-wee. I'll tell you what, guys. This thing, I designed it. I drew it down, and I don't draw things on paper first. I draw right on the steel. You can even see there's a line. Let's see. You might be able to see it. There's a line going halfway right there, all the way down the steel. And that was, you could probably see it, that was my original drawing where I was putting a grind line. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't do that kind of stuff. So it'd be kind of useless for me to pretend I'm going to actually do it. I do mostly grinds like this. I don't have the equipment to be making all these crazy precision grinds. I do everything by hand. And I don't know, when I got to that point, once I cut out my shape, and I did the blade first, and I left the handle as a big rectangle, right? It was just bar stock, and I didn't even cut the handle. The handle was still, you know, this big, and I did the blade completely before I did the handle. Then I did the handle and my scales and all that business, and it came out cool, man. All right, let's see if I can give this thing a toss real quick. Hold on, let me put you all down right here. So now you're gonna notice I walked with you, I put you down, I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna back up, never pressing pause. This is my first time ever throwing this thing. You guys, my first time ever using this. You saw it came brand new out of my shop. So let's see if I can get this thing to turn. Oh, it was on the tip. It was on the tip. It's just, you got to remember, that tip is not made for penetrating straight through something. No, it's taking chunks out. Literally, that tip, you can even see it. That's all right here. That's all that. I would have to really come down this way before I got it to stuck. So I would have to throw it in a way where I'm not even getting it all the way around. But you see, it's definitely landing tip first. It's going to be hard. It's a heavy blade. You've seen it hit here. Actually, here's the mark right here. It hit here perfectly on the blade the way I needed it to, but then the weight momentum just carried it through. So it's all stayed together though. So that's it. It's not a thrower, obviously, but you know, I wouldn't be me if I didn't give this thing a wing. And it throws that way. So I don't know, man. I made myself a really cool piece. And I'm digging it. You know, I was inspired by the El Chete from Tops. And I was looking at that. And it did have the little finger groove right here thing. The little, what do you call it? A finger notch. Or finger spacers. And I'm like, well, I don't like that. That's the only thing. The grind was much better. The steel is much better. Their heat treat is much better than I do. Everything about theirs is better than this. What I can say about this though is A, I made this. This is mine. And B, I made it for what I need it for. So this thing, I can guarantee I will baton forever with this thing before needing to sharpen it. Where with the Tops, if I batoned with that as much as I can with this, because they have a much finer grind, I would need to end up sharpening that long before I have to sharpen this. This is going to kind of live like a hatchet or an axe. You know, it's that kind of edge. And I made the handle for me. I didn't want the finger groove in there, right? That little finger spacer. I wanted it just like this, and I wanted this right here especially. I wanted something big and girthy in the rear so I can put my entire hand on it and swing and know that A, it's never going to leave my hand, but B, it's going to carry me with proper momentum to get the cuts done that I need to get done. So every single thing I need it to be, I made it. The shape is adopted from them. The overall knife is just all me. You know, I changed up the size, I changed up the look. I just kept that downward sweep that they have that I really, really enjoyed. And they have a nice, you know, curve in the belly, which I really enjoyed seeing. And I thought to myself, you know what? Theirs is, I don't know, like around 200 bucks, maybe a little bit less than that. And mine, I can make it right here. And I did. And gotta say, this thing is a beast. This thing is a beast. It is exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I aimed for. It's exactly what I made. My machapa. My chapa. Machapa. That's what it is. So here it is, man. This thing is weighted beautiful for swinging. It is weighted beautiful. Holy moly, I could tear something up with this Bigfoot if you're listening. I know you're out there in the woods with your laptop. So here it is, man. D-Bad. Machapa. That's my freaking blade. And I freaking love it. I'm Donnie B all day. And until next knife. Woo!